Millions of Americans are about to get turned away at European borders this year, and most of them have no idea it's coming. Here's what that looks like in practice. You've saved for months, you're standing at passport control in Amsterdam or Rome, and a border agent tells you you're not getting in. Not because you did anything wrong, but because a rule changed and nobody told you. According to Newsweek, starting April 10, 2026, the European Union is rolling out the biggest overhaul of its border system in decades, affecting all 29 Schengen countries simultaneously. This is not a minor update. This is a complete transformation of how Europe tracks and screens every single non-EU traveler, including you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what changed, what you need to do before you fly, and the one mistake that's quietly getting Americans rejected right now. This video is for anyone planning a Europe trip in 2026, or anyone who already has flights booked and hasn't checked whether the rules have changed. I've spent the last several weeks going deep into official EU Commission documents, consulate guidance, and travel authority reports so you don't have to. Stay with me until the end, because the last point I cover is the one that catches people completely off guard, and it could be the difference between boarding your flight and getting denied. Let's start with the change that is already live. The EU Entry and Exit System, known as EES, went live on April 10, 2026. Here is what that means in plain English. Every time you cross into the Schengen zone from outside the EU, border agents will now collect your fingerprints and a facial scan. This replaces the old passport stamp system that has been in place for decades. Think of it like replacing a paper receipt with a digital transaction record. The EU now has a permanent biometric profile tied to your passport, and that profile tracks every time you enter and exit Europe. Why does this matter to you? Because the 90-day rule just got a lot harder to game. The old system relied on passport stamps, and stamps could be missed, faded, or hard to read. The new EES system is a live digital database. If you have overstayed a previous visit even by a few days, that information is now in the system. Border officers will see it instantly. There is no more ambiguity. There is no more benefit of the doubt. Stop and think about that for a second. This isn't a software update. This is a permanent record that follows your passport forever. By the way, this is something most travel blogs are completely glossing over. The EES doesn't just affect future trips. It creates a retroactive accountability moment. If you traveled to Europe in the last few years and you're not 100% sure you stayed within the 90-day limit, you need to count your days carefully before you book anything. If there's any doubt, talk to a travel attorney or the relevant consulate before you show up at a European airport. Here's the practical side of what EES means at the border. You will likely spend